Hi, my name's Jordan Parks. I'm a personal trainer and I run the JP Pro Fitness Power Plate Studio in Langley, Hertfordshire. Previously I was a professional footballer for 7 years, playing for Watford, Barnet and England, representing England from under 18s to under 20s. Football didn't quite go to how it was planned, didn't play enough, and it got to the point where I was getting a bit depressed and down with it and thought I want to retrain and start something new. I'm still playing football now, just semi-professional, so just playing part-time, but so I've just started my personal training studio up. I knew that I didn't want to work for a big company. I knew that when I was doing my personal training course, we had Fitness First and Virgin, so the big fitness industries coming in and talking to us about what's so good about working for their business. They're not telling us that we're actually going to be paying them a considerable rent each month to work in their business. So they're already taking money money away from me before I earn money myself. So I knew straight away that was something that I didn't want to do, and I knew that I wanted to be working for myself, earning as much money as I could for myself. I found the key aspect of starting a successful business has been differentiating myself between my personal experiences and other personal trainers. Coming from the elite background that I've had in being a professional footballer, I've obviously worked with some of the best in the industry, so I've learned a lot from them and sort of incorporated my footballing experiences into my personal training. So my training sessions may be a lot harder than some of the other personal training sessions out there. I don't tend to do loads of just aerobic running on a treadmill. As you can see, my gym is very more functional training, so we do a lot more squats, lunges, and getting your cardio through light weights and high intensity work. I found the hardest challenge setting up my own business has been lead generation. We're just obviously new to this area, so it's just about gaining interest for from the local clients, basically, just to get them interested and involved. Obviously, I'm on the first floor here, so I'm not directly onto the high street. So I've got to try and bring people off the high street and up into the studio. It's not like a shop front where people can just peer in. People actually have to make that step and come up the stairs. So that's been kind of the hardest thing, is just to get people to come into the studio and actually see it. And one of the ways that I found that worked really well was when I put an open day on. So we were right out at the front, opened it up, had banners out, posters, had leaflets, just letting everyone know that we were there basically, and getting people to come up and just have a look at the studio. That worked really well, got people into the studio, having a look, and then from there I managed to sign a few people up and get them involved into the classes and some of the personal training sessions that I put on. I also overcome that hard bit at the start of the lead generation by leafleting and flyering. Obviously I just mentioned the fact that I did the open day, which was a success. I leafleted and flyered all the local businesses along the high street, just letting them know we're there. And obviously once they start talking to local people, then it's gradually sort of snowballed and started to pick up. Obviously I can do a little bit more on the advertising front. I need to get into some local magazines, so I think it's called My Kings Langley, so local magazine, and maybe into a newspaper. Obviously you just have to weigh up whether the advertising costs are going to be beneficial in terms of bringing the income back in. So it's just at the moment it's a cost I'm having to weigh up, but at the moment I'm not having to do that because the business is going quite well. Also, I've been using social media a lot, so I've set up my Facebook with a Facebook page and a profile, and just got all my friends and family just to really start promoting me via Facebook, because obviously it's a free way of advertising and a good way to promote things in terms of videos, pictures, and just updates all the time, just letting people know what you're doing and the services that you're providing. I also use Twitter as well. Haven't done too much on the Twitter, it's just something I'm just starting to do again. But now I've just started to use YouTube as well. I'm going to start putting some little workouts on there and just little information basically about fitness and about my ideas of things, just to create a little bit more awareness and just to get the business going again. I think the biggest challenges that are going to happen for me in the near future is I want to expand and obviously bring in another trainer, because I'm doing a lot of work at the moment with the classes and my personal training. Obviously I've got a baby on the way, so I'm trying to make sure that I've got another trainer here working with me, so the times that I'm not here that someone else is here. Obviously that's got to be a hard thing, because I want to make sure that they've got the right ethos of how I want to work and similar interests to me. So I don't want just an average personal trainer, I want someone that's got a good sports background, who's young and ready to go basically, so I can help and sort of nurture them into the way that I want them to work in my studio. Also, the other thing that's going to be maybe a bit of a problem is the fact that we've only got the lease on this studio for another year. So over the next year or so, I've got to try and find another studio, another premises for me to work out of. But it seems like I've looked around. There's a lot of potential for places. It's just trying to find the right place. There's a lot of businesses out there that have gone. So a lot of high street stores, shops in your local villages that have gone into liquidation. This is a good thing because it means that obviously the rents are a little bit cheaper. There's a lot of business properties out there for people ready to come straight in. So if you've got the right business idea, the right enthusiasm and execution into putting your business into play, then there's no reason why this is not the right time. Having gone back into education and become a student again after a few years of leaving school and going straight into the professional football industry, the greatest bit of advice I can give to students coming out of education and straight into work is find your niche, find your speciality. I realised that obviously when I was on my course, I was looking around at the other people that wanted to become personal trainers. I was looking around and they'd all played sort of amateur level or just like the gym. I thought, how am I different? I'm different because I've been a professional. I've got that sporting background. That's where I realised that's my niche. I can appeal to a lot wider market. I can use my previous experiences with the football, so my little bit of reputation that I had, I could play on that and get people and use that. So the greatest bit of advice I can give to you is find your niche, find your speciality, find how you're different between the guy sitting next to you, and then use that to your advantage. Go down all the avenues and areas that you think are the best suited for you. Don't try and be something that you're not.